people are always gonna do what they want to do, choose to do, and what they're gonna do, if that makes sense. Notice that, especially parents, if you tell your children to do things, they are mostly like very naughty and very rebellious and all that. Teachers, when you tell your kids to do things and all that, do homework, do notes and blah blah blah, and be obedient, and they always do the opposite. Even with us humans, a lot of us have not moved out of our school life, our school phase. Most of us are still kids. Most of us are still students, teenagers, I guess the channels that I watch, I'm always referencing the channels that I watch because it's true. And most of these things that I'm speaking about, I've been so blind and dismissive and ignorant, and I'm still sleeping on it. Like a freaking fool, stupid ass idiot. Those channels that I watched have opened my eyes, and then now that I recollect, I remember, I look back in my past. Looking back on the things I've done, Backstreet Boys. And I thought I can relate, and it's true, They are not the only ones that have been through these things. Some of us, we just are ashamed of it, and I just want to keep it secret, keep it hidden from the world, from life, outside world and all. I used to be that, but I thought, what's the point? Just let it out, recording it like right now, making it a report of resonance, report of relations. You can relate and all that. If you can, you can. If you cannot, you cannot. That's fine. But people are gonna do what they're always gonna do. You can even be the child and you tell your parents, please don't follow me, please don't disturb me, please leave me alone, blah blah blah, and then they act all helicopter parents. Helicopter. Oh, so annoying. Yeah, tell me about it. Especially those types that are so overly protective of you, overprotective as frick. You can even tell your teachers, if you're bullied or something, please, this person, this student is bullying me, messing with me, please do something about it. And then he or she doesn't listen, The teacher can even report it to the principal, and they don't even care. It's so effed up. Make it make sense. Oh wait, you cannot. Like usual. You cannot, because it don't make sense to begin with. Sometimes it can also be with yourself. You tell yourself you're going to do these things, you're going to do those things, this, that, those. But you catch yourself lacking. You catch yourself not doing those things, procrastinating to tomorrow, next week, next month, even worse, next year. Yeah. But you got to try your best to do things that you said you were going to do and all that. I should take my own advice. Because I know these past few days where I said I was going to record videos like these, reports, keep up to date and all that, but I don't. And I had plenty of days, I was quite free most of the days, and then, I'm just giving excuses, but yeah, freaking emotions and all, yeah, another excuse, you see. You don't control and you let it take over you and all. I mean, not really an excuse, otherwise I'll be like those toxic, narcissistic people, Get over yourself, it's just emotions. You should control the emotions and all that. No. You gotta be in tune, you gotta tap into your emotions. You can't just ignore it, otherwise it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass. It's gonna haunt you. Maybe the reason that you get nightmares and all that is because of your stewing, bottled up emotions, and that it translates into dark stuff. It becomes dark because anger starts to brew, anger starts to mix, be thrown into the mixture, into the chemistry of all these ions and molecules. I'm being a little Walter White right now, Breaking Bad, all these Cairo and all that, the purest form of the substance, pure glass, 99% pure, blah blah blah. But yeah, you should just leave people to their own devices. Let them be. whatever happens to them is most likely what they chose to do or what they wanted to do, even if it gets them in trouble, even if it executes them, I can't be too explicit. But even if it gets them screwed in whatever situations that they are in, most likely it's because they chose to do that, and it's also most likely because they want to do that. Yeah, you can't stop them. You tell them not to do something, they want to do something. You tell them to do something, they don't want to do something. Except if you're a parent, that one is no exception. The one you really have to cater to your child. You have to be there, you have to tend to them, because you're raising adults. Never forget that. You're raising adults. Who they turn out to be one day is all based on you, It's based on what you did, how you raised them. Yeah, literally. So being a parent is no easy feat. It's no easy thing. You have to be committed. That's why I say you have to have a license. Just like driving, because it's no easy feat. Does it make sense? Yeah. You gotta have a license in most things, to have a business, to have your own shop, your own stall or whatever, as a hawker or a vendor. Just license and all. And then you have to renew if it's due, renew if it's due. Yeah, rapping, spitting bars right now. But for some reason, when it comes to being parents, you don't need a license. What? Hello? Maybe in some form, maybe I missed out, Actually, there is a license. Okay, then let me know in the comments. But as far as I know, I don't think there is. Aside from your IDs, aside from your birth certificate. What is that? I mean, people can have sex left, right and center. Oh, crap. They can get it down and dirty. They can get behind closed doors and be vulnerable with each other and all that. Except nowadays where most things are sexualized. You see left, right and center is being marketed, is being advertised, commercialized. They're not hiding it no more. They ain't hiding it no more. You even have some women that are so provocative, so showing a lot of skin. And whatever. I'm just saying you're corrupting and rotting a lot of people's minds. Men too, I'm just saying, what kind of a society is this where it's so sexualized that YouTube doesn't even want to block or take down, explicit content and all. They just willy-nilly, nonchalantly show it, just like that. You see, lately I've been seeing these videos on YouTube where it shows a girl getting massaged and she's quite stripped, she's quite bare, barely any clothes on. And then she's doing the gym and all that. Not gym, yoga, pilates, all this exercising, and she barely has any coverage. But whatever, I don't judge, but I'm just saying. What about others? You're gonna have predators, you're gonna have people that are touch-starved, people that don't have all these partners and soulmates by their side. They're gonna start doing these and that, and unless that's your intention, then you're sick and twisted in the head. But for me, I know what I want. Thankfully, I want the real stuff. That's why those things are just cringe. I know what they're doing. I know they're listening to me and all, and they know that I don't have it, and then they want to put all these things out here and out there, left, right, center, up, down, inside, outside, in front, behind, diagonal, 360 everywhere. They want to tear me down, they want to tease. It's a constant tease everywhere. They just want to bring me down on my knees and make me feel even more worthless and sad and all, but so I gotta control yourself and all that. You kind of mirror it and reverse psychology and do what you're gonna do and not give in and not succumb, not surrender to these things. Or as some people would say, temptations, right? Usually in the religious context, temptations, do not give in, even though it's BS, but look at themselves, some of the biggest hypocrites. Yeah, do not give in to lust. But yeah, you see all these so-called religious people doing the most sex, and then they say God allows it, permits it, approves it. That's what God wants for me. But then when others do it, oh, you're being lustful, sinful, blah blah blah. Hypocrites, that's all. End of story. No cliffhangers, There's volume 1 and the last volume, the first and the last volume of the story, you know. Or you want to make a trilogy or something, then that's it. That's it, end of story, close the book. You've read it over 1,000 times. Aren't you sick and tired of it? Unless it's a really, really good book. And it's a shame that the author did not make more volumes, you know. There's only 1 volume. Yeah. Really good book. I'm just saying. But you gotta not care what people say about you too. It's not just towards other people. Where they are gonna do what they're gonna do. It's also the same to you. You do what you wanna do. You do what you choose to do. Make sure it's healthy. Make sure it's low risk or no risk at all. And yeah, you just keep it a buck. Keep it you know. As long as you're not bothering nobody, that's all. Or you can just defend yourself if someone wants to F around and find out. Yeah, you just stick to your guns. Do your stuff. Excuse me, I burped. You do your stuff. Keep it a buck. Don't care what others think, what others say. You do what you choose to do, you do what you want to do. Anytime, anywhere. And people are going to do the same also, even if it gets them screwed up. So just let them be, you know. You don't gotta waste your time, waste your breath, waste your energy and all that trying to tell them, because they're gonna be contradictory, gonna do the opposite always, or maybe oftentimes. Like I said, you tell them to do something they don't wanna. You tell them not to do something they wanna. It is this human error, you know, the 46 chromosomes, Homo sapiens, the my own made up in-house original recipe, homegrown, you know, or originality, 4-6 derogatory term. I'd be calling human beings 4-6 as a derogatory term. What up 4-6? What's 4-6? 46 chromosomes. You know, I'm just fed up calling them humans. Hey, look, there's a 4-6 within sight. 10-4, what's your 20? You know, like the cops. 4-6 within sight, within vicinity. Pursuing. Just turned around the east block, the west wing, all that, down the 5th Avenue. You know, maybe people that are listening to it, you know who they are, you know. Don't want to speak too much about that, they'll be getting ideas and all. You're welcome. Or maybe it could be you, the listeners. Yeah, I mean, that's how humans are, right? 4-6. 46 chromosomes. Yeah, blah blah blah. People are always gonna do what they're gonna do, you know. That's what I've come to learn. That's what I've instilled in myself, and I just let people be, you know. I'm not gonna waste time, and I'm not gonna get my emotions and feelings up in arms, you know, be mixed up and all that. And then I'm in a emotional roller coaster, tornado. No, I just keep it a buck and keep it controlled, keep it stable, and just, okay, if you want to do that, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Blah, 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 you know, it's all up to you. That's how I keep the peace, and whatever happens, just remember, it's most likely because they chose to do it. It's most likely because what they want to do. So yeah, they gotta take accountability for what they've done, you know, for their actions, consequences of their actions. Yeah, you know, if you don't do that already, you can take this advice, you can put it in your life perhaps, you know, and then you just judge and you monitor and you see, you know. You don't gotta waste time and all that and whatever. And you can also strengthen your mind, you know, you don't cave in easily and you don't listen to people. You just stick to your guns, and you're always gonna do what you choose to do. You're always gonna do what you want to do, you know. Nothing and nobody can interfere and disturb your plans and disturb what you want to do and all that, you know, provided that it's healthy and good. You know, you're a man or a woman with a plan. That's all I'm saying. So it's almost 15 minutes. I'll just end it at a 15-minute mark, okay? And just ignore what they say about you, what they feel about you, because all that matters is what you say. Most of it, at least. But sometimes it's them. But yeah, Remember the title of this video, Beyoudoyou. Signing out now. Adios.